We turn our attention to the state of Bihar, where the CBI has been carrying out searches at different locations in Bihar. One is linked to an RJD MLC and the other to an RJD MP. The two individuals concerned, who are of course under CBI scrutiny with regards to these raids, are Ashfaq Karim and Sunil Singh, both members of the RJD led by Lalu Prasad Yadav and his son Tejaswi Yadav. The Central Bureau of Investigation has been carrying out searches on the premises linked to these two individuals on the part of the RJD, and this also comes just barely a few weeks after a new government has taken over in the state of Bihar. The Gathbandhan government led by the JDU, the RJD, the Congress and the left parties. And it remains to be seen what kind of reaction comes out of the RJD camp in response to these raids at a time when...
अभी बेटा क्या आप नीचे आ सकते हैं? आपको इजाजत है? आइए मैडम आइए।
Those visuals that you see on your screen are presumably of the family members of the people being raided and of course protesting against the CBI action, Amita.
Absolutely. So we're getting those pictures as we speak. Bhavtosh, can you tell us about this case? It is seemingly as now the leaders of the RJD and the JDU were anticipating that now central agencies will be actually behind those leaders because there is a new sarkar that has been formed in Bihar.
Yes, very much on the expected line, as RJD was saying that central agencies will be let loose, and I think exactly around 10 or 12 days after the government was formed in Bihar, CBI is presently carrying out raids and searches in Bihar. In fact, it all started around 1.5 months back when CBI had first registered a case against Lalu Prasad Yadav, his family members including his wife Rabdi Yadav and also his daughter, in a case in which they have alleged that lands were sold and then subsequently the money that was collected was used to get jobs in railways. Lalu Prasad Yadav was in fact a railway minister in the UPA government, and so this investigation was carried out by the CBI after registering a preliminary inquiry. After this, CBI was in fact lying very low, and then around a fortnight back, CBI in fact registered a case, arrested one person, Bhola Yadav in this case, who is said to be a very close associate of Lalu Prasad Yadav. Now, early this morning, CBI is carrying out raids and searches in multiple locations in Bihar. Two politicians who are said to be very senior in RJD, their premises are being raided. One of them is a member of parliament and other is an MLC. Now, CBI has said that they will be issuing an official statement very soon, but these two politicians are said to be very close to Lalu Prasad Yadav and also to Tejaswi Yadav. Their premises are also being raided and searched. Remember, RJD as well as JDU has said that both ED and CBI will be used by the central government because of the change in government in Bihar, and this raids and searches will obviously be used both by opposition here in Delhi as well as by RJD as well as JDU to say that look, there has been change in the government, and CBI is presently carrying out raids and searches in the state. Back to you.
And what's also very interesting to see, Bhavtosh, is the fact that this is a continuation in a series of raids, because like you said earlier, Lalu Prasad Yadav and his son Tejaswi had been raided by the CBI in May this year. That was when, of course, there was a JDU-BJP government in power in the state of Bihar, and these raids have continued into the new dispensation as well.
Yes, Siddharth, in fact, in the FIR that was filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, it covered a period between 2004 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. That was the time when Lalu Prasad Yadav was the railway minister, and what the CBI in fact found out was that during that particular period, Lalu Prasad Yadav was virtually controlling the railway ministry and also the railway recruitment board, more importantly. Now, by controlling the railway recruitment board, he was in fact calling the shots as far as any recruitment is in railways concerned. And the investigation by the CBI, the alleged investigation by the CBI, found out that several persons who wanted job in railway were forced, or they started selling their land, and the land that was sold eventually went in the name of Yadav family. That's what the investigation of the CBI is. Now, what the opposition is saying is that why rake up an case that is now nearly 13 to 14-year-old. And remember, these raids and searches initially took place in May, or late in the last week of May. And suddenly these searches have started happening. On the part of CBI, they have said it's an ongoing investigation. They have also said that they had registered a preliminary inquiry, and post that these searches are being carried out at least at 8 to 10 locations at 2 premises which are linked directly to RJD politician, in fact very senior RJD politician. We have the names of them. One is an MLC, and other is a member of parliament. We're waiting for an official reaction also from CBI as well as from RJD over these raids and searches that are presently going on.
Right, but when it comes to these searches taking place, Bhavtosh, many locations that are being set, but when it comes to the direct link of the Yadav Parivar as well, especially when the FIR was registered, many of those people, the family members of Lalu Prasad's family who were mentioned in the FIR.
Yes, as far as Lalu Prasad Yadav family is concerned, the Lalu's family name cropped up once they were named as an accused in this case. In fact, Amita, the FIR that was filed by CBI is a very detailed FIR. It gives examples or names of candidates who in fact sold their land, and then eventually the land that they sold became in fact in a way the land went to Yadav family. That's what they have said. They have in fact mentioned the value of the land that went to Yadav. It was approximately around 1.9 to 2 crore of land that went to Yadav family, and they have said that all these lands that was eventually given to Yadav's family, these candidates in fact never took any examination, and randomly jobs were provided to them. They also said that because Lalu Prasad Yadav was in fact a railway minister, he was in fact controlling the railway recruitment board. Any decision that was taken by the railway.
Just stay on with us. RJD leader Manoj Jha is reacting right now as we speak. Crossing live.
कल ही हमारे डिप्टी सीएम ने मीटिंग में कहा था कि ये लोग अब इस स्तर पर जाएंगे, और आप तो 24 घंटे का भी वक्त नहीं लिया, उस स्तर पर उससे नीचे उतर करके आप सामने आ गए, हमारे नेताओं की रेड कर रहे हैं। किस बात की भाई, किस बात की खुन्नस है कि एक सरकार आपके अनुरूप नहीं चल पाई, उसने जन सरोकार के लिए गठबंधन बदल लिया, इसका है, इसकी खुन्नस है। पॉलिटिकली लड़िए ना, लेकिन आपने जिस प्रकार से हमारे नेताओं, अलग अलग नेताओं, हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए लोगों पर जो किया ना, 26 वर्षों से हम देख रहे हैं। डिप्टी सीएम लगातार ये बात कह रहे हैं, आप एक ऐसा माहौल पैदा कर रहे हैं ना, आपने इन संस्थाओं के चरित्र को तहस नहस कर दिया। अब जो कहते थे ना, चाल चरित्र चेहरा, अब उसके नतीजे में देखिएगा कि एक दिन वो भी आएगा जब आप नहीं होंगे, आप भी इसकी जद में आएंगे। कौन सा ये पॉलिटिकल लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं, वो तो अफसोस की बात है। मैं समझता हूं कि दिल्ली से लेकर महाराष्ट्र और फिर बिहार, आपके पास स्क्रिप्ट वही है कि पॉलिटिकली नहीं लड़ पाएंगे। ये संगठन जो आपके हाथ के तोते हैं, इनको इनकी छत पे पहुंचा, लेकिन ये बिहार है, बिहार अपने तरीके से लेगा बदला।
आज बिहार विधानसभा में फ्लोर टेस्ट भी होना था।
ये मैं यही कह रहा हूं कि देखिए, इन लोगों की पॉलिटिकल समझ, आज बिहार विधानसभा में फ्लोर टेस्ट कितना महत्वपूर्ण दिन है बिहार के लिए, और आज का दिन चुना इन्होंने किस लिए? डराने के लिए। अरे बार बार तेजस्वी जी एक बात कहते हैं, बिहारी हैं, टिकाऊ हैं, बिकाऊ नहीं है, डरेंगे भी नहीं। तय करिए, मुश्किल ना हो जाए, कहीं ऐसा ना हो जाए कि ये जो आपके संगठन है, जिसको मैं तो बार बार कहता हूं, अब इनको बेकार आप लोग भी CBI ED IT कहते हैं, ED WD मत बोलिए भाजपा का एक संगठन फलाना, भाजपा का दूसरा संगठन चिलाना, भाजपा का तीसरा संगठन ढिमकाना, ये इनके चरित्र की हकीकत है। लेकिन मैं दोहरा रहा हूं, ये बिहार है, ये इस तरह के छापे आपको एक अच्छी नसीहत दे के जाएंगे ताकि आगे।